Hello, Seiiti Arata. When it comes to personal development, the conversation almost always focuses on productivity, learning, and achieving goals. But there is one characteristic that, if it's missing, you'll never progress as much as you could. And that characteristic is humility. If you're not humble, you will never recognize your weaknesses, nor have the curiosity to seek new information. Without humility, your ego needs to maintain the illusion that you are already better, superior than others, that you already know everything there is to know. This arrogance prevents you from growing. That's why humility is so essential for success and personal development. If you think that everyone is wrong when they are disagreeing with you, be careful. The mistake might be on you. Humility makes you more inclined to learn from your mistakes. By being humble, you can admit that you are not perfect, that there is room for improvement. And this leaves you open to feedback and constructive criticism, which can help you to identify areas in which you need to develop. For example, imagine Bob. Bob is a young programmer working at a bank. Bob just discovered this new technology, believes it will really change the world. He shows this solution to his team, and then the team members raise a few concerns about the security issues of that solution. However, without humility, Bob thinks that everyone else is stupid for not agreeing with him. So he refuses to reevaluate his own first analysis, he implements the technology, and then he will suffer the consequences when the bank system is hacked and the money from all the clients will disappear. So don't be like Bob. Of course, this is an exaggerated example, but it illustrates that without humility, you risk doing things that can cause problems and regret. If you deny your weaknesses, you risk becoming stagnant or even regressing in your success, your learning, your personal development. So be open to listening to others' opinions. Everyone has something to teach us. Humility is essential for the continuous improvement process that we all value here so much at Arata Academy. When you recognize your own limitations, then you have awareness. You understand what areas you need improvement. And to experience this in practice, you can do a cognitive humility exercise that will work a little bit like this. You can write down your first idea, and then you will spend a few hours searching for evidence that will contradict what you believe. You can see more details about this exercise in the episode 259 of the Hello, Seiiti Arata series. This humility exercise shows you how others' perspectives will help you to expand your self-awareness, your understanding of the world. With this broader view, then you can make better informed decisions and you can tackle your problems more effectively. If you're ready to discover each of your areas of improvement and continue actually developing yourself, then we invite you to complete our personal development course that you can access at arata.se/personal development. Being humble doesn't mean being foolish. Humility makes you more respected by others. Now, there is a myth that humble people are foolish, they're weak, they lack self-confidence. The truth is that humility makes us more respected. See, if you are willing to really listen, learn from others, you can build stronger relationships. You become more compassionate, more attentive to the needs of others. And you do this consistently whenever you're interacting with people, and soon you will be more respected, more admired. This also explains why humility is crucial for leadership. In good work environments, humble people are valued more by their colleagues, their superiors, compared to their arrogant colleagues who think that they are always right. And if this is not the case at your company, you can consider maybe changing companies, because probably something is not right in the corporate culture where you are working in right now. In companies with a healthy culture, humble individuals are often seen as trustworthy, open, and willing to learn. These people end up being chosen for leadership roles as long as they don't confuse humility with apathy, lack of assertiveness, lack of confidence. And one more time, if this is not the case at your company, think about changing jobs. There are many good companies to work where they will really appreciate the virtues of their employees. Humility is not a skill that will prevent you from developing other personal development virtues, such as leadership, confidence, determination. See, personal development involves multiple areas. Today we're just focusing on humility. And being humble doesn't mean being weak or submissive. Being humble is just having an open mindset for personal development and having clarity that everyone has weak points that need to be improved with the help of others to accelerate. Anyone can become more humble as long as they practice this skill with intention. Now that you really understand the importance of humility in advancing in life, let's see a little bit how you can improve to become a more humble person in real life, in practice. First of all, it is very important to be clear that humility is not an innate trait, innate quality. Humility is a skill. It is an acquirable skill. It can be learned. It can be also unlearned. So to become a more humble person, all you need to do is to practice the skill with intention. The first step is to recognize your limitations. So whenever you catch yourself being too confident, too certain about a viewpoint, stop and think. Maybe is your ego interfering with your ability to admit a mistake? Be honest with yourself about your weaknesses. Admit when you don't know something. That is a sign of strength. Next, always try to put yourself in other people's shoes. We've already talked about empathy in many episodes of our Hello, Seiiti Arata series. For example, episode number 245. Empathy is such an underrated topic. If it's used well, it will play an important role in your life. You can try to understand other people's point of view, and then this will really change how you see the world. It will give you a broader worldview. Thirdly, remember that it is possible to learn something from everyone, even from people who are older, people who are younger, people who are richer, people who are more poor, people who are just different or very similar to you. Be open to learning from all the people around you, and this will only bring you benefits to your personal development. And finally, maintain an attitude of gratitude. Why? Because when you're grateful for what you already have in your life, you automatically let go the arrogance and you stop thinking that you are better than others. With gratitude, you can recognize the contributions of other people in your life, and that's a really big step towards becoming more humble. Of course, not everything will be easy and quick, especially if you're, let's say, not very humble today, but you can use humility right now to recognize that this path will be requiring persistence and daily practice. By improving a little bit every day, you will become more humble and you can achieve your personal development that you're seeking. Even if it is overlooked, humility is an essential trait for you to keep developing as a person. And please don't confuse being humble with apathy, lack of assertiveness, lack of confidence. Being humble is actually a sign of strength, not weakness. It is through humility that you can recognize your own limitations, you can work on the areas for your improvement. And if you're looking for help in this whole process, now I want to invite you to check out the personal development course by visiting the link arata.se/personal development.